Look at maybe I need to switch over. See, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
All right.
Hey, listen, you know what you need to start doing? You need to start going and rewarding your kids at night, like play hide and go seek, and reward them with melatonin gummies.
Uh, yeah, it's like I've been out since since the break. Um, there's too much energy in the house. There's too much. I gotta take them outside sometimes to wear them out. So yeah,
Listen, I understand. Chris has been more low key because he knows that if he ducks and dodges me like the plague, 9 times out of 10, I will not be able to have him go and do things like read and do some extra work on his math and all that. So yeah, he
right.
dodges me in the house.
Yeah, they love it when I get home from work.
Yeah. Talk about I'll close the door. Psych. You thought
Yeah, I had to.
you thought it was gonna close the
I
door.
close it. Most times when I close it, she comes in and she peek. Hey, daddy. I'm like, hey, okay, now go. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places, and then we'll be able to. All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places, and then we'll be able to. All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places, and then we'll be able to. All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places, and then we'll be able to. All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places, and then we'll be able to. All right, just gonna make sure to share it to a couple more places. But yeah, let me just mute this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep on getting feedback for the foreseeable future. Uh,
Let's see what.
all right, people. If you're already tuned in, thank you for tuning in again. We do appreciate you. We'll be getting started shortly. Just have to make sure that all technical things are out of the way, so this way you'll be able to see us in all our greatness. All right. So yeah, you don't want to miss it because yeah, I'm back to giving Carson hell again. So gonna make it do what I do. All right, y'all here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Y'all here? All right. And so, with that being said, we are live. All right, people. Thank you and welcome back to another episode of the Are Jack podcast. All right, people. I just want to say, first off, welcome. Happy New Year. We're now in 2022. But as you'll see, we have some new things to talk about. Some old habits have died hard with some people, or have, I'm going to say, well, not died hard, but some old habits have lived on into 2022 that we just didn't want to carry into 2021. But that's neither here nor there yet. First and foremost, we have to get to the guys who make this podcast what it is. Because without them, we wouldn't have the best acronym in the business. All right.
Yes,
So with
sir.
us, wasn't able to be with us last week, but I see that you ain't gonna be a strong man from Louisiana that's making sure that he keeps his family well with gummy vitamins and whatever else they use down there. We have with
Crown
us Josh
Ward.
here, everybody.
What's good, everybody? Um, before we get into anything, I want to give a shout out to you guys and Harish for holding it down in my absence. Oh, I take care of family business. Big props to you guys for holding it down and for the shout outs and the love that y'all gave out last week. So
No
appreciate that,
problem.
guys.
Listen, we know that you definitely will. You definitely made it through, and that's what matters. Glad that the family's fine, as we can tell by the kids knocking on the door furiously. Everybody's good, so that's what
Yes.
matters the most. Glad you're back. And once again, shout out to Harish for coming on last week. Another great episode, but then again, we always have great episodes, so why not? And then
Yes, sir.
also, we have with us the man who was probably partially responsible for making sure that he got the COVID out the house. Probably just like killed it from where he is in Tennessee, made sure he got to it. The silent assassin himself, Austin Cook, everybody.
What's up? I'm Austin.
He would never take responsibility for it. He would never take responsibility for it. That's I don't know whether that's humility or whether that's just him making sure that he keeps his cover. But either way, you know what? I'm with it. That's fine. All right. And then, of course, we have myself, Chris Jackson. We're here once again. Thank you for tuning in as always. Glad to have you. Yeah. So we're going to have some very interesting discussions. As you can see, this episode is called Layup Denied, and rightfully so, because let's all be completely honest, we really treated this game like it was just going to be just another win for us. And as we saw, it definitely wasn't. It wasn't the win. It wasn't the layup. Yeah, we didn't do well at all. Um, but you know what? First and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about the bright spot of this of the team. You know, the defense. The defense actually did really well. Um, I'm gonna say it's just like they did give up a lot of key plays and spots. Not even I can't even lie about that one. But what was probably the biggest takeaway for our defense from what we saw on Sunday? And I'm going to start with you, Austin, with how they performed or how they were able to actually just like get Derek Carr
Um,
just, like basically out of his zone.
sorry.
Oh, oh, you good? Oh wait, I
There
see
he
you.
is.
Okay, you're moving again. Oh
Uh-oh.
no! Oh no!
There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Okay, good. All right, Cook is back.
Sorry.
No, no, no. You're good, man.
Um,
You're good.
so the main takeaway I got from our defense was we continued to get pressure like we talked about before, and we forced some turnovers, got some interceptions. Um, Isaiah Rogers played well again. Rock played well again. Our corners are doing well. We saw Rhodes go out in the game. I don't know his status after that, but our corners continue to play well, and I think that's good going forward.
Okay. What about you, Josh? What was probably I'm going to say the most surprising thing for you on this on coming well looking at the defense?
Not that it's a surprise because we've been doing it all year for us getting the turnovers, we get into pressure, we get into the quarterback. Um, I just give credit to Derek Carr. He gets rid of the ball pretty quick. He's not sitting in that pocket waiting for the defense to get a hit or get a sack. He's getting rid of the ball to his tight end, giving it to Zay Jones, to Hunter Renfro. It made it tough for us, but we still was able to get those turnovers. We had some missed opportunity on other turnovers with Rocky Sin dropping one. Um, but with the turnovers, we never did. We didn't cash in. We had a two turnover ratio, um, and we didn't score points off of it. We didn't convert on offense. So I
Yeah.
mean, it just it's negated what they did on defense. And the more that they stopped their car when they did, we didn't score. So they got to get right back on the field and try to do it again, which is tiring for defense. It's tiring for a guy like DeForest Buckner or Teray, Quiddy Pay, who just went out there. Quiddy Pay was outstanding with two sacks, a two-sack game. Teray was outstanding. It just made it tough for them, made it tougher. We see that there's in there had some missed opportunities on tackles. So we saw a lot of fatigue outside of the positives.
Okay. And I think like we mentioned guys like Rockison, we mentioned, Quiddy Pay. I think when you're looking at the overall defense and you're looking at exactly like how everybody played, Isaiah Rogers, one of the breakout stars for this year in terms of how he's been able to come in and play. I mean, the interception that he got was just, I mean, it was just a grown man, just like takeaway. I mean,
Right,
that's just what it was. Like he ripped it out his hands, and that's just what it was. And like we've seen like Rockison, he almost had an interception on a diving, on a diving breakup, which was another one that was actually a really good play. So, you see these guys that are starting to emerge. We've seen it all year, with Quiddy Pay coming in and doing what he's been doing. We've seen Al-Quadin Muhammad. We know what we're getting on that D line. In
right.
terms of the linebackers, Darius Leonard got another interception. I mean, Bobby Okereke has been playing lights out with making sure that he's playing, but I think when we're talking about the defense is also the fact that we went from early on in the season, even going as far back as the Ravens game,
Hmm.
basically giving the defense hell for, not doing what they needed to do, not
Right.
delivering, not being able to make those plays early on. And then the offense playing semi well, but still having to kind of make up for the defense. And now I think we're kind of seeing a shift when we don't see that Jonathan Taylor is absolutely dominating. So going on to that end of the spectrum, what what do you okay, so here, you know what? I'm gonna premise this with a question. Um what what was the issue as far as our offense went? What was the biggest issue that we saw in terms of what was happening? And Josh, we'll start with you this time.
We was very stagnant. We saw that when the run game didn't work out, it's like we forced it. Like we were run, and here it is 3rd and 8, and now everybody in the world know we got to throw the ball, and we throwing it to one target. When I saw that tweet, it tweeted a picture the other day where it's a discrepancy between Pittman and Zach Pascal in yardage. I think Pittman has 1,000 yards, and just Pascal had like 300. And so we're using just two players, and it's not hard to key in if they can minimize Taylor. It's not hard to key in on Pittman.
Okay.
And when T.Y. Hilton is off his game, which he was not, he was open on a couple of plays. He just Carson Wentz was just missing opportunities. Like we saw in that play on 3rd and 7 where he had a lot of grass in front of him. I'm not saying it could have been a touchdown. It could have been a big yardage play to steal the game when we up with 4. Um, it just we saw a lot of missed opportunity. We saw Carson Wentz um, needing to practice. You saw that he off on his targets. He was off on Mo Cox. He was off on Pittman. he was off on T.Y. Hilton. He was a little off. I mean, Taylor still did his job, but again, it was a box. He had a box in front of him where he had to fight for 4 yards to carry, just to even make us make the offense even relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But once you keep getting three and outs, um, it seemed like once we get into a stage where the momentum do shifts after a turnover, then that's when our offense wakes up. Then you see Taylor cooking. Then you see Pittman, get a lot of big, first down catches. Then you see a lot of crossing routes for first down. But we got to start off fast. We always start out slow every single game, unless you're playing like a Jets or the Texans, or playing like somebody. I would say New England, but New England was a good team, and we start out pretty fast. Same thing with the Ravens. Same thing with the Bills. We just certain games, after having a big game, we go back to playing a different style instead of playing like we did against the Cardinals. I just don't get it. It's a lot of it's more inconsistent to me when I see it, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Austin? Was that-
Um, I think like the main issue on offense was the lack of preparation, and I know we're gonna get into that in a little bit, but like it's just a lot of our team was on the COVID list like this week or this past
Mhm.
week, and didn't get a lot of practice, didn't get a lot of uh time with the team, and I do think that affected people, especially Carson.
Okay. 'Cause- and you know what? It's so we've had this roller coaster ride all season with Carson Wentz. Actually, we've said, hey, he's doing well. You just need to build some chemistry. You just need to get some things down. And it's just like we're talking about. I mean, we're week 17 now.
Mhm.
So the thing is, even if for some reason, let's just say, you miss some time, you're able to just kind of pick it up because you know the playbook, you know exactly what to expect. I don't I want to. Okay, so then I'm gonna ask this question, and then I'm gonna immediately answer it, and then I want to get you guys' take on this.
Right.
So the question is, did COVID have anything to do with Carson's performance? But when we're looking at what's done and how the offense goes, I don't think if this had been something where let's just say he didn't have the ability to play with the team or practice with the team, then that's fine. Just based on rhythm, just based on the ability to be able to go out there with your team, it shouldn't be that much of a drop off for you to be able to just go and pick it right back up, especially since you've been doing this all season. He hasn't missed
Right.
a game this season. Preseason, I mean, we're so late in the season. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to just go ahead and say you can just pick up that rhythm because I mean it's been there the last 17 weeks. That's 4 months where you've practiced consistently. He's not coming back from a major injury after missing weeks. I mean, he hasn't missed a game. And yet here we are talking about these scenarios where we're saying, "Oh, well, it could have been COVID," but that doesn't make sense. This was not a good showing on his behalf. And I want to say yes, give him the benefit of the doubt. But the thing is, to have a game like that this late in the season, I get that you're having a pretty good year. And the thing is, his stats weren't really that bad, but it's also a lot of missed opportunities.
And luck.
Yeah, because I mean,
Luck.
the thing is, Jonathan Taylor still ran for over 100 yards. So
Right.
he's moving chunks of plays, but what? How like I'm not understanding how you have these up and down and you have these regressions, especially this late, because it kind of in the back of my mind, honestly, concerns, me with this, but that's something I want to get you guys' take on this because me personally, I'm Austin. What do you think?
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think it did affect him a little bit though, like a whole week without practicing, like having to stay home and not be with your team. I think it can
Yeah.
affect your rhythm, and I think we saw that especially in the first quarter. The throw to T.Y. Hilton, I don't think it's all on Carson, but I definitely think it was a bad throw.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Ty kind of slowed down a little bit, and he might have thought he was just going. So it's just like a miscommunication, and like that's what we're saying. Like with the rhythm, he just didn't have it completely. But like I agree, he it shouldn't have affected him as much as it did, but I think it did at least a little. Like it threw him off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh, I'm sorry. We'll go. Josh, what do you think? What do you think about this? Because, like I said, I've only hear certain fans, certain people that may try to kind of give him that leeway, just kind of give him that slack. But what do you think?
Like Tio said, that's my quarterback.
Teammate.
No, man. Yes and no. Yes, it affected him. Like you said, with the miss opportunities, with the chemistry. But I would say no because it's not like the receivers was on COVID. You know, Pittman was available like it was all year. T.Y. Hill been available all year, and T.Y.'s a veteran. If we want to blame, if we can blame T.Y. for stopping on that route, then we just blame it on him. Um, but he's been playing with he's been practicing with their targets for what 17 weeks.
Yeah,
So
4 months. 4 months. It's
4
been
months.
4 months.
So I would understand if we had assigned some guys our practice squad or Golden Tate where he didn't have any opportunities, and in that case I would just say hey start Sam Ellinger. But Wentz know those guys. It's just Wentz as sometimes as we've seen on that one throw or one pass attempt where he's trying to do the hero ball again. He's getting back to
Mhm.
where instead of taking a sack, I'm just gonna throw it away. No, take a sack, man. It's okay to get sacked. You're one of the least sack quarterbacks in the league. It's okay to go down. It's
Yeah,
okay, but
yeah,
he don't want to. He wants to try to steal, throw that little sidearm or pass, which could have been picked off. Which we're very lucky that it's not picked off, which we've seen in this time, couple of games this year where it was. You gotta take a sack. If he can't take a sack, then just throw the ball out of bounds where there's a target near it. He's been in the league 5 years, so he know how to play. He's been playing
yeah,
football for his whole career, his whole life. He's been playing football. I'm not shitting on him because like I said, he is a good quarterback. When he's on, when the offense is in rhythm, he can make all the plays. Even with his legs. On one play, he had a play where he had the first down or could have got more yardage. He threw across the field to Mo. I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. And
I was
watching
like,
that play, it
I
was like, what is happening right now?
was like, I'm up, I'm standing up like, okay, keep going, go, first down, or or at least get yardage, field goal range. He threw across the field to Mo. I'm like, you
It's
cannot do that.
like, what are you like? What is happening right now? Like, what are we doing here?
That could have been a pick six. That could have been a pick six. And so I'm like, okay, calm down, settle down. I get it, Niagwe, whatever his name is, he's out. Yeah, whatever his name is, he's
Yannick
out there.
Ngakwe?
Yeah, he's out there. You got Crosby out there. I get it, but they wasn't stacking him all game. Yeah, got pressure, but it plays where he stepped up and made the plays that he should. It's just sometimes he instead of getting the first down, with his second and four, he didn't want to run it. He wants to try to throw across the field. It's like, come on, guy, come on. Like
Yeah,
he needs to work. He needs Frank Wright to not be his friend and be his coach. Not blaming Frank Wright, but somebody got to tell him, hey, get those orders, man. This is a win game, must win game. You win, you in. And now you got another game where I know we get into it where it's another must win.
yeah,
So yeah, that's my take, man. It's I guess I know it took what 20 how many carries it took Taylor? It took what 22 carries to get 108,
20, 20. He had 20 on that one.
20 to get 108. I know it was hard fought yards. And he earned it. He earned every bit of it.
Yeah.
Um, but we can't. I know other guys that we spoke with other people, other fans. When is costing time to take over a game? See a 300-yard passing game and two TDs or a rushing touchdown. When we gonna see that game? Will we see that next week? Will we see that if we get past Jacksonville? Do we see that in the playoffs? So that's my concerns. I got the same concerns you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing about Carson is we know he can make the plays, but we see examples of what he's doing. Like we see the examples of how he could have just ran and taken the first down, and then he throws across his body in a pass to Mo that's overthrown. And it's like you have the means to go and do what we know you can do. Like we know what you're capable of. We know that you can make these passes, and but at the same time, it's just like we also know that you're mobile. If you're
Right.
going to of uh scramble out of getting sacked, just finish the scramble, slide, and do what you have to do. Because the problem that you have is one of like he went 16 for 27 for 143 yards, which honestly isn't really the best in terms of numbers. But one of
Mhm.
those 27 ended up being, or one of those 11 incompletions was that pass to Mo Ali Cox where he literally just could have ran and gotten the first down.
That's after being sacked. It's almost reminded me of the Super Bowl of Eli Manning getting, about to get sacked against New England. It reminded me
Yeah.
of that same play. I was like, just keep going, or
Like,
slide, or go out of bounds. So I was like, you know what? I shook my head. I was like, yeah, I shook my head. Like I said, I know it's gonna be growing pains as as a sports fan in general. It's just that when you have 4 yards in front of you for a first down and milk more time out the clock before you give it back to Derek Carr. Get those yardage, man. Get those yardage. If not, just run the ball with Taylor.
yeah. Yeah, and and let's also put this into perspective because you know, it was bad in the beginning. But then in the last minute and a half of the half, it's a masterful. Mind you, Carson completed one pass out of six passes prior to that 2-minute drill that he put on for the touchdown. I believe that drive was eight passes. He went 8 for 8 down the field to score a touchdown. This man is an agent of chaos.
Yes.
He is stress personified. I see why Eagles fans didn't necessarily want him back, and it's probably just because of their stress levels. Because I'm going to be completely honest, as a quarterback, he stresses me the hell out. Like I watch him sometimes and I'm like, what is happening? It looks like he's getting sacked. He ducks under. Mind you, this guy's about 6'4", 6'5". He ducks
Yep.
under somebody and then he runs. And I I don't understand. Like I don't under I feel like every single time Carson plays, it's a personal attack on my sanity. Because there's a chance that he's going to have a fantastic game. And then there's a chance that he's going to scramble to the right and throw the ball back over to the left to Mo Ali Cox, who doesn't know the ball's coming, who he's going to overthrow anyway. I I feel like Carson Wentz wakes up in the morning, he checks on his daughters, he makes sure everything is good. Then he has all these little points on a bulletin board. He takes a dart, puts a blindfold on, he throws a dart at the board, and the board right above that says, "How in the hell am I gonna piss off Colts fans today?" I really feel like this man was like a bitter rival in a past life because there's no reason why I should feel the way that I feel regarding anything that he does. I don't smoke, and he almost pushed me to the point of smoking. I don't get it. But you know what? I'm not gonna do this because I haven't vented in a long time, and I'm not gonna do that now. I'm sorry, people. I apologize. You know, however you feel about that, then fine. But now moving on, because now still in playoff position. I think the last note was that if if the season ended today, we go up against Kansas City in the wild card. So then let's just say, for the sake of for the sake of conversation, well, actually, before we go any further, assuming the Colts make the playoffs, how confident are we in Carson's ability to close out
I'm not.
games? Scale of 1 to 10, and then quick explanation.
A -2.
Okay.
No, no, I can be fair. You know what? Carson has the ability to close out any game. We've seen it a few times this season. We've seen against the Buffalo game. He can close out a game. I think it was like 3rd and 17 where he ran for 17 yards on a first down. So he has the ability to close a game if he don't hurt himself.
Yeah.
So I have confidence that he can put out any game against any opponent. It's just that he has to have a mindset is that hey I'm the quarterback. I got to command the offense. Uh, in this 2 minute drill, if we're down 4 or down 2 or down 3, I'm going to command his offense. I'm going to go down the field, get his 3 points. I'm going to go down the field, get this game winning touchdown. And if we can do that, but we just got to execute it. He has to have a mindset of that. I got to be turnover free. I can't be hero balling. I have to make the right reads, make the right play, and get the yardage and win the game.
Hmm.
So I got confidence in him. He can do that. He just gotta not shoot himself in the foot when he's on that field. When it's time to go win a game, if we need to, by him.
Yeah.
Because remind you, he was doing that against the Rams until he got the ankle injury. He
Okay,
was
this
doing
is
it.
very true. This is true.
So, um, so I got confidence in him, man. And the Rams had a great defense. So I got confidence in him that he has the ability to close out a game.
Okay. What about you, Austin? What are we thinking in terms of scale of 1 to 10? How confident are you in Carson to just take over a game?
Uh, I'll give him a 6. I feel the same way as Josh. I think he could close out a game against anybody. It's just like what Carson shows up. I don't feel like he has to close out the games though. Like I feel like we should be closing the game out with Jonathan Taylor,
Yeah.
but I feel like he can do it if he needs, like if we need him to.
Yeah.
I think he
And
should. I think he should close it out because everybody in the world knows that we got to use Taylor to close out a game, and they can if it's 2 minute drill and they got A box and Taylor can't get those yards to get a first down, and now we got to rely on Wentz to do that, and he screws up or they call it the right defense. Carson is screwed because
yeah.
he's not in a position to win. Taylor's in a position to win, but he has to. Once he get in that position, he started overthrowing targets. He started rushing throws. He started doing things that he's not comfortable doing. So if he put himself in a situation to be comfortable, Yeah, like I said, he can do it. He can. We
Yeah.
just got to be. We don't have to be one dimensional. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to be one dimensional. We should be able to lean on him if we need to, or lean on of course, lean on Taylor if need to, or Hines, whoever.
I you know eh, if I'm talking about Carson being able to close out and really just being able to dominate and do what we believe that he can do, the only way for us to do that is let's look at games that worked for us against against teams that were tough teams. Look what we did against New England a few weeks ago. We dumbed down that offensive plan as much as we possibly could. And with us dumbing it down and doing what we did, yeah, it made it so that it made New England kind of stay on their toes. I mean, it was very fundamental meat and potatoes.
Right,
Run the ball. Don't take a bunch of crazy shots. Don't try to test people. It's just like just do as much as you can, and then defensively, don't get cute with blitzing. Don't try to overload and do things that that we can't do. Because then I think the only person who was actually able to do anything against us was Hunter Henry. And we know that they generally are able to run the ball pretty well. They weren't able to against us. They weren't able. They generally can pass the ball really well, and they weren't able to do that either. And for me personally, the biggest change with that is that if if it works for us, don't change it. Taylor got the ball a bunch of times, and he didn't have a whole lot in terms of yardage. He was chipping away 3, 4 yards here and there, and then finally got patient. And then on that last drive to make sure that you seal the game away, touchdown. And that's what
right,
Jonathan Taylor can do. You can go ahead and tackle him a few times, but he's going to make somebody miss. And when he makes somebody miss, he's going to go all the way, damn near. But
right.
I think when it comes down to Carson, I think Reich also has to get out of this mode where Carson has to be the superstar. Because we heard it on Hard Knocks. We heard about the fact that Carson, we said, Frank Reich said, I want him to be the star and take over the way that I know that he can take over. And that doesn't make sense because you want him to go and throw in ways and do things that you think that he's capable of. Fantastic. But the thing is, if the situation isn't calling for it and you know that you can give the ball to somebody, a little underneath, give it to somebody who's a playmaker. Why are you trying to prove this point that Carson Wentz is a superstar that you want to make him out to be? He's a superstar. He got paid already. We know the stats. We know what he's been up to. He had one bad year in his whole career, and that was last year on a depleted team. And yet,
Right.
here we are. He's played every single game this season, and then we're still over where we normally would be. But we have the tools that we need. Why are we trying to be dependent on him? Because we're trying to be dependent on him.
We shouldn't. Next week it should be. Let's face it. Jags are going to make sure that Taylor does not go for 253 again. They're
Hmm.
going to make sure he does not go for 253 or 170, whatever he had this year. They're going to make sure they don't get embarrassed by him again.
Hmm.
So we need an offense that's predicated by everybody pitching in, everybody is having a hand in it. We should dominate them boys
Yeah.
from because like last time we was dominating. At the halftime it was a close game. I was like, oh my god, like we have to finish games. We
Hmm.
have to believe that we can finish a game. And to y'all point, both of y'all points is just we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it right now. But in a must-win game, I feel like we're gonna finish it. We're gonna play all 4 quarters and
Yeah.
dominate.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And speaking of, and like I said, just kind of going, the going into what we were talking about before, we'd be playing the we'd be playing the Kansas City Chiefs as it stands right now. So we absolutely would be playing, NKC first round. Knowing what we know now, seeing what we've seen with offense and defense, how does that game turn out, assuming that, let's just say, we go the route of what we've dealt with the Raiders, and then go on the route of what we've dealt with when it came to New England? How does that game turn out for us in that case?
Um, I think we can play with the Chiefs if we get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Like we have to get pressure. I think we can. I think Carson would have a good game against the Chiefs, against their secondary.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I think we could beat them. I think we can beat anybody. It's just which team shows up.
Yeah.
There's one key factor. If it's snowing, run the goddamn ball. There's no fucking way they stop us. If it's snowing, run the damn ball. We've been in Buffalo when it was raining and we had to lean on our run game. It's tough for those guys to try to tackle Taylor. If it's
Yeah.
snowing, which it's likelihood it will, run the damn ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball. And we got the chance. We will have the best chance to win because the more we win, guess who's sitting on the sideline watching?
Mahomes.
So him, Kelsey, Hill, Gordon, they're all sitting on the sideline looking up, upset because we have the time of possession.
Exactly.
We can stop their run. We can stop wasn't that Hilaire. We can stop him.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can stop him. We can stop any back.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we have to lean on our offense more, lean on run game more if it's snow game. Because there's no way they're going to be able to stop him. And if they do stop him, their secondary is garbage.
Yeah.
That, that,
I don't trust him at all.
that, so yeah, I feel confident on how that game will go. If it's snowing, we're gonna lean heavy on the run.
Okay. All right. And then, of course, last one. Then, well, like I said, we're wrapping up soon, but let's just go and just get to it. We haven't won in Jacksonville in 7 years. It's been 7 years since we last won in Jacksonville, which honestly is a pretty pathetic stat. Because I mean, Jacksonville for some reason seems to be our Achilles heel. Now, also at the same time, we literally, well, we played against Jacksonville last year, and I mean that was Jonathan Taylor's coming out party. I'm thinking just like ran for over 200 yards. Knowing what we know about how, for some reason, we play in Jacksonville, but then also knowing that Jonathan Taylor pretty much has their number, how does this game turn out?
Uh, it depends on the fans. Fans is trolling the owner, so um, and they have the opportunity to clinch the first round pick. I don't think they screwed it up. Not saying they're gonna tank, but I think, and I'm not saying people go out and just play ignorant for to lose games, but their motivation is not gonna be there to win the game. Their motivation not gonna be there. The fans are upset because they're gonna keep a GM there, so they're not gonna be in the game. Usually the fans be in the game, even
Yeah,
when we go to London. So they're not gonna be in the game. They're gonna be more focused on having T-shirts saying "clown" to
yeah,
the owners. So um, it's a tough place to play. No matter what quarterback we had, we still lost. And then 2014 was Peyton Manning year. Oh no, it wasn't.
no, that was luck. It
That
was
was
luck.
yeah, luck. Yeah, and it was a tough game. It was a tough game then.
Hmm.
I don't know, man, because we can beat their ass and end it. It's just going to going to Jacksonville. it seemed like I don't know we get overconfident. I don't know if you know they want to make sure that they get their game. Let's just get this out the way. Jacksonville play us the toughest out of every team in the division. Texans can blow their ass out. Titans can blow their ass out. When it comes to us, I don't know what it is when it comes to us. They just play us the toughest for whatever reason it is.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry just runs all over them for 200 yards a game. But when it comes to us, they want to make sure they smash us in the mouth every single time. I don't get it,
And
man.
that's probably the most irritating thing about it. They literally, it seems like they literally play us the absolute hardest they can. Whenever they play us, they will play anybody else. They will play a team that has literally trash talked them and said that they were garbage. They will lose 43-8. We will go into Jacksonville and they will just go mouths just just rabid, completely rabid, just looking absolutely nuts. And I don't get it. I don't understand why they want to play us so badly. Like I don't get it. But what about you, Austin? What is your take on this? Because I don't understand it.
Uh, yeah, I don't understand it either. But I do think this year is going to be different. Like, I don't think this game's going to be close.
Mm.
Um, but like I said, I don't know why we've lost there for 7 straight years. It makes zero sense. They've had like one good year.
Yeah.
Even the
You
year
know
that
what?
we could have won, the year we could have won, it was 6-0. We played down to them. It wasn't
Yeah.
them, it was
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. And here's the crazier thing. So we basically are the ones that are keeping a couple teams out. But there's two teams who are playing each other who could potentially get in if this was to
Yeah.
happen. If Jacksonville beats us,
Hmm.
Raiders and Chargers can literally tie. They can tie and get in. They could literally make a
Wow.
handshake agreement and they can tie and get in. And will they do that? Absolutely not, because they're division rivals. So I don't believe that they would ever just go and say, "Oh yeah, let's both get a tie so that we can go into this playoffs and this way we do it." Because ultimately, let's just say they end up blowing everybody out. They end up getting themselves into the playoffs and ultimately having to play each other. No matter what happens, I don't think you do that with two teams that literally just are not necessarily the best of friends. Let's just say.
Right.
I don't get that. However, that leads me back to my point. Um, we need to beat Jacksonville ass because there's no way there's no way. Like I get it. It's just like it's end of the year. Of course, a few of those years we went through, luck, injuries, some of the things that were going on. I get that, but 7 years, it's just like we're overdue. And the fact that they're focused so much on that particular stat right now lets me know, okay, yeah, this is definitely a stat that we either need to focus on breaking or just get the hell out of completely because this is absurd.
Right, man. This is. I'm going to be watching that game like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
watch it. I'm going to have my notes ready. I'm going to have all type of things. Man, we got to close out.
yep. But
We got.
with that, listen. With that being said, what do you guys predict for the score and breakout players for this game? Let's go, Austin.
I think we win 48-13,
Oh my
and I
God.
think that Jonathan Taylor has like 300 yards.
Oh
So,
my
so you
God.
think he goes? So now the thing is, if Jonathan Taylor, and mind you, we're just throwing numbers out there. Jonathan Taylor rushes for 317.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know what you're doing, but go ahead.
If he does, I'm not saying he will. Just saying, 317. I'll take just about whatever they do. If he has a great game, then I mean it's absolutely going to be fantastic. But just saying, then he'll have that. But 48-13 with over 300 rushing yards, that's fine.
I,
Um,
I you missed the point. I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go there, but I
no,
think you
nope,
held back.
nope, not gonna do it.
You held back on that one. I thought you were gonna go there, but you held back.
I held back. I didn't hold back last week, and that's the reason why I believe we ended up doing that. So you know what? Nope, I'm going back to being humble. Mm.
Gotcha.
Josh, what about yourself?
Uh, I don't as bad as I wanted to say it'd be a blowout, but being that they play us the way they play us, um, I'm looking at a 28-17 game, and I'm looking, I'm not one player having a good game. I'm looking at two players. Um, Ty he had to have a homecoming. He got to go off on a bang,
Hmm.
and of course JT 28.
Yep. All right,
That's
and then
that's a bit epic. It'd be Ty gonna play like it's gonna be his last game of the year. Not
mhm.
saying of course we'll have playoffs, but he's gonna want to play that. Okay, hey, this could potentially be my last game.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have. So then you think Ty is probably going to be the breakout star of the game?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, along with JT. So I watched we have two.
Okay. All right. Um, I'm going 24-13. I think we'll be able to pull it out. I think it'll be close much longer than it needs to be.
Mm,
And eventually, we'll be able to pull away. Um, however, with that being said, I do think they go out there, they make sure that they play this for Ty. I think we all understand that this is probably going to be Ty's last year, maybe even in the league altogether. So
right,
I don't think that you go out on a bad note. I think it's just like you play as hard as you can for a guy that has always been a team guy, who's always been the stand up guy. Um, I think Ty potentially goes for over 100 this game. I think probably has about 9 receptions for over 100. Jonathan Taylor, I think he could probably go 150 plus, 22 carries. So, all right.
not bad.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Listen, I'm going to be watching very closely because, like I said, our playoff hopes ride on this. I think we could absolutely go and do just a lot of fantastic things as long as we just play our game. Like we can't play nobody else's, can't play down nobody. We just need to play Colts football, run the damn ball as we always say, and just make sure that we don't try to play anybody else's game but ours. We've been caught out there getting too cute, trying to make people play hero ball. If the pass is there, pass. If the run is there, run. But it's just like let's not go. Let's not do the opposite when the other one's working.
Right.
All right. So other than that, guys, it's been another good one. I like this. I like having it back. Like I said, thank you, Harish, for coming on last week. But I love the fact that got our boy Josh
Wait,
back.
wait, 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 wait. You know, I want to be optimistic. I don't want to be humble, and I want to be.
Nope.
I want to do a bold prediction, much like Austin, based off Austin prediction. If he hits that 300 mark, do you guys know how many yards will they give Taylor for the season?
Well, he'll be over 2,000. Oh, he'll be over 2,000.
Oh, really? So then we'll be having that talk, right?
We'll be having that talk. I mean, let's also just be very clear. Jonathan Taylor doing everything that
Yes.
he's doing right now in his sophomore season. I mean, when
Year
you
two. Yeah.
mention these guys, when you mention guys like your Adrian Petersons, when you mention your Chris Johnson, mention even Derrick Henry, these guys all
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis, like none of these guys were sniffing that number in their second season in the league. I think what
Right.
made Adrian Peterson's season even that much more impressive was the fact that didn't he do that the year after he tore his ACL?
Yeah. After he tore his ACL, he went on a tear.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a little bit too punny. That's way too punny. You can't say he went on a tear after.
No pun intended.
Yeah, he
No
went on
pun
a
intended,
tear.
man.
Yeah, after a tear. Jesus. But you know what? Like I said, we'll
That's right.
climb that tree when we get to it. In the meantime, it's still like I said, we still have a lot of work to do. I think it will. I think the guys know the sense of urgency. I don't think anybody wants to go home, especially having the season being done by Jacksonville. Like that's absurd. So I think this will be a much better game. I'm being extremely humble on this one because we weren't humble last week and we got smacked in the mouth. So with that being said, guys, um, yeah. So just a couple things, people, before we leave. We're still doing the Twitter contest. So the first 100 followers on Twitter, you'll actually be in the running to receive one of five Amazon gift cards. Or you know what, Visa, like I said, whichever way you do, just know it's in $20 denominations and it's completely free for you. All you have to do is follow at YDKJAC podcast, also at YDKJAC baseball, and at YDKJAC basketball. So make sure that you're following those pages, and then as soon as we reach the follower count that we need to, then boom, we'll go ahead and do the we'll do the sweepstakes, and then also, as you can see here in that top corner, I think it's that corner. I'm not sure which one it is. Whatever, I'm pointing either way. There you go. All right, cool. Thank you, Austin.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
say, yeah.
Thank you. Listen, just whichever way. I don't care. But but as
We're
you
doing
know,
the DX style.
there you go. For those that don't know, let's not do this. This is a family podcast. But you can go on, download the Prize Picks app. Basically, it allows you to just do pick'ems. You're able to go ahead and set rosters, lineups. If you use the promo code FBSN, they'll match 100% of what you bet. So you bet $5, you win. You get or they bet $5 with you. You bet 20, they'll match you all the way up to $100. So definitely make sure you download the Prize Picks app or go on the Prize Picks website, whichever one works better for you. Just do it that way. And then in the meantime, guys, tell the people how they can reach you on social media.
Also, you want to go first, or I go first? Cause I'll have Chris give him enough time to prepare.
Actually, I didn't crack
Uh,
last week.
you didn't.
I did not. I did well. I did well. All right. Thank you.
You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at I am Josh Senior. On Facebook, it's just Josh Senior.
All right. Austin, what about yourself?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Austin_cook2, and then Twitter Cookie Austin 2.
Bam. You know what? You know what I realize. You know what I realize now? It's Josh jinxing me.
Mhm.
Josh jinxes me every time that he does that. So I understand. But you can also
Because I'm anticipating that you're gonna crack.
you are okay. That's fair. Have no faith in your boy. That's fine. That's fine. But all right. And then you can find me at CJ Colts fan on Twitter. And yeah, so with that said, people, we will be talking to you next week where we will be seeing you in our post regular season edition. So this way we will be able to let you know whether or not we advance, what happened, exactly how many yards Jonathan Taylor ran for, and yeah, we'll just be going from there. But guys, have a great rest of your week, and we will be seeing you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and all those in between. So, guys, have a good night,
8
and
o'clock
we'll see
Central.
you later.
All right, guys.